with another video review, and this time we're going to be taking a look at the Jetpack Bumblebee from the Transformers animated line. And thanks to the folks at toyarena.com, I'm able to get my hands on this figure and bring them to you. And this really is probably the last new mold figure that we're gonna get from animated. And the problem is, it's not even, as of right now, getting a stateside release. You're gonna have to get this from a place like toyarena.com, or you're pretty much screwed. So as you can see, you got a nice picture here of the figure itself. Inside there, big, really big. I'm actually kind of surprised how big that actually is. A new molded Bumblebee right there. You flip these, comes with a card. You look on the side there, that's nice. Flip around on the back, and a nice artistic drawing here of Bumblebee himself. Really like the way that looks. I wish I could read the story, but it would probably explain that. So if anybody can read Japanese here, there you go, read that. I don't know. But you see around here, transform, weapon, face, transform. Okay, so that works. Again, more figures that are in the line. Bumblebee there on the side. Fantastic looking figure. I really like, and that's a really nice picture. I really kind of like the way that looks. And because it's the Japanese one, it's called the Jetpack Bumblebee. Now, when originally we thought that this was going to be released here in the States, we thought it was going to be called Hydrodive Bumblebee. Who knows? Maybe they still will release it. Maybe they'll find a way. Who knows? But this is the Takara one with, you can see, really nice glossy paint on there. Chrome type paint. I think it looks fantastic just looking at it right there. So let's get the guy open and see how cool he actually is. Okay guys, so here we have the Jetpack Bumblebee opened up and out of its packaging and attached to the actual jetpack itself. And in this mode, you know, honestly, it's really not that bad. I really kind of dig the way it looks, although it, as a submarine, it seems kind of pointless. Because we've actually seen in episodes where they're able to, you know, be underwater and they're robots, so they are able to breathe underwater, obviously. But the overall look isn't really all that bad. It really kind of looks nice. You got the nice jetpack things here on the back, which again, because they're blue colored, really kind of lend credence that it's more of a underwater submarine vehicle, because this is like water spewing out. But it's, I mean, I think it looks fantastic, really. It's a nice little addition to the figure itself. These weapons, you know, you can kind of pivot them. They don't remove, unfortunately, because they would make some badass looking guns. But they do kind of rotate here, and I don't know if this is just mine. Oh, well, that kind of came undone. But they kind of rotate independently. Not entirely sure. But you remove them by just sliding this little bit out here, and you kind of rotate that around. And you can leave this entirely attached, and you can transform him while still attached to the armor. So just come around here to the bottom, and he just pegs in the bottom like so. So we'll set that off to the side for right now, and look at the figure itself. Very nice looking vehicle mode. The color, maybe it's coming across gold, but it's more just of a metallic yellow. Now, in terms of a size comparison, here's the original Deluxe Bumblebee, and as you can see, much bigger than the new version. And you can really see the difference here in the paint job, obviously. Whereas this is, you know, just kind of a drab yellow. This has the real shimmery, shiny yellow paint. Overall, very nice. Now, the best, I'll say probably the best scale version for any Bumblebee is this guy. The little Activators version of him. And as you can see, he's you know, a little bit smaller, not too terribly much. They're kind of close. Obviously, height-wise, there's a big difference in height. But it's, you know, it's really personal preference about what you want to have as your Bumblebee and what kind of scale you like. To transform him, he's actually really, really simple for a deluxe figure. I mean, all you do is take this section here and kind of lift this up, accordion that outward, separate these legs, then you fold this bit out, and as you do, you'll see this piece pushes back, forming the back part, and then just rotate the leg. Again, just rotate that out, that folds back, rotate, okay. Move those out, slide that down like so, slide that down, lift this chest piece, rotate his head, put the chest piece back, and here you have Bumblebee in his robot mode. Now there are a couple problems that I have with it. The biggest being his shoulders are really close into his body, so it makes him look very, very straight line. You can kind of fix that by bending this out, and then there's a little ball joint here. You have a swivel joint, I suppose you call it, here at the elbow, but it also has a ball jointed part where you can bend that in. You can also rotate it, but you can kind of bend it inward like that. And that's usually what I do to display him, just like that. And that makes him look a little bit better. Not as straight lined as I mentioned before. The other little bit is that because this is a Takara version, I really would have expected a few more paint details on him, such as on the actual head itself, like because around the actual face it was all highlighted black. This little bit right here, this triangle bit should be black, and then right here on the side, those three little marks also should be painted black. Now you can fix that with a very fine point marker, but again, you shouldn't have to do that. So the other really kind of weird thing is if you look here on the inside of his hand, it's got a really nice molded hand on the inside. And you can see a thumb and 4 fingers. But the problem is, and you're kind of looking down here, I'm sure, when you flip it around on this side, it now looks like his hand is upside down, and that little bit there is his thumb. Looks fine from the inside, kind of, although, I mean, now that I'm looking at it, it does kind of look like he's got a, 6th finger sticking out. That really makes it look weird. Overall, though, nice paint on the entire figure itself. I do really like the way it looks. Now, my good friend P.L. mentioned that the inside yellow here, this bit here, the upper part here, and the inside here, are this kind of mustardy color. I don't think it comes across too terribly bad. I mean, I'm sure they could have done something, but it doesn't really, I don't think it looks all that bad, to be totally honest with you. I think I mean, it's okay. It's not bad. In terms of his articulation, his head will rotate from left to right, go up and down so you can get a nice flying pose. Due to the nature of how this is, that's as far down as he can look, though. So he can't look into his chest piece. His arms will rotate forward. They go back that far. That's it. But they rotate upward. And then when they rotate up, they kind of shift backward. So that kind of looks weird. As I mentioned, they go out like so, and then they have this ball-jointed elbow bit, which allows you to rotate the arms all the way around or bend them down like so. Bend at the elbow, rotate at the waist, back and forth at the leg, in and out, rotate, knee, and then because of the transformation, you get a little bit of pivot in the foot itself. I do really like the way this guy looks. Don't get me wrong. I mean, my other kind of complaints are more nitpicky than anything, I suppose. Just knowing that this is Takara and that they could do a better job. Now, in terms of a size comparison, here's this guy. They've previously shown other versions of Bumblebee in their robot mode. And as you can see, the old deluxe version is bigger, and the activator one is obviously smaller. He's in a better scale than this guy. I still think this one is probably the best scale for Bumblebee compared to the other figures in the line, like the Voyager Optimus Prime and figures of that nature. But going from this one to I mean, obviously you got the really big goofy feet on this one, and his feet are much better in this version and this version. This version here has got better arms. I mean, especially with the swivel here on the shoulder where you can get him separated at the shoulder a little bit better. But again, like when you position it like this, it doesn't look nearly as bad. Now his jetpack, again, will combine with him in his robot mode. All you have to do is make sure that this little bit right here is swiveled out to the side, or out there. Come around here to the back, and just plug this little guy in. And it takes a little bit of doing because you gotta really try to get in there and give it a nice little push. And there we go. And now it's attached to his back, and you can take this section and rotate this down in front of him and position these little guns out, and you can that swivel in his elbow really comes in handy when you're trying to get him to hold his guns. And there you have him with his jetpack attached. Again, very simple attachment. One kind of thing that does suck a little bit is these little fellas here will attach on the outside of him. But they kind of look like weird stingers. They don't really look very good, mostly because they're on the outside. And actually, when you detach this, they too will slot into his back for a much more cartoon accurate jetpack. So there's that. Overall though, this doesn't look too terribly bad. If you like big accessories on your figures, you're gonna really like this. I do actually really like the way this guy looks, and it's very user-friendly. Like I said, you can actually still transform him while this is still attached to him, and I'm gonna go ahead and do that right now. Basically just kind of get that out of the way. Take this, fold that down, rotate that around like so. Kind of make sure you get his head tucked in there nicely. Fold that, and you can see it's already, I mean, it's working. The transformation is not very complicated at all. Rotate that around, fold these bits out, fold that out like so. Rotate that around, rotate there, fold that out. Connect these two little bits right here and back here. And then keeping the arms kind of on the side here. Just replace that, and then I'll line everything, all these panels up. Slot them all together. And there you have him back in his vehicle mode. And you can just take this section, rotate this around. Fold this back. Accordion, this slides all the way. Don't go like that. That's not the way to do it. You have to actually, down in here, they actually wiggle back and then they kind of tab together right there. And now you have him back in his vehicle mode with the armor attached. So a very nice, versatile piece that can be utilized both in vehicle mode and robot mode, and you don't even have to detach it. So I actually do really highly recommend this figure. He's very fun. A lot of play value in this figure itself. As I mentioned, available right now at toyarena.com, so go ahead and click the link in the description. You can check that all out. But that's about it, guys. Until next time, this has been Optibotimus. Yeah!